We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy freaking New Year. Greetings, Cyberdogs and citizens of the internet. This is RENDOG'S coming at you from the 2015 Christmas tree in this Let's Play Minecraft Survival series. In the previous episode, we were busy creating a butt-ugly wall for the lumber mill, and in this episode, my friends, 2 days before Christmas 2015, I've got a few apologies to make. It's been a pretty hardcore 24 hours, guys, and you and I, we need to have a serious chat. We need to clear the air before Christmas Day, my friends, and I haven't had any sleep whatsoever last night. I have been stressing my Cyberdog butt off, and I'm ready now to have a chat with you guys. There are two major things that we need to talk about today. Two major things that I need to apologize to you, the Cyberdog Nation, for. And we're going to get to both of those today. I hope you are comfortable wherever you are in the world right now. I hope that you are getting ready for some awesome Christmas action wherever you are. If you do celebrate Christmas, I'm sure you've got some seriously awesome stuff planned, some delicious food on the way, presents to be cracked open, family to get annoyed with. All of the best things about Christmas are on the way for a lot of you guys out there. And of course, if you don't celebrate Christmas, well, you know, now's a really good time to sort of get in touch with family and friends and to, you know, make sure that everything is running smoothly in your life and so on. It's a very good time of year just for cleaning jazz up, if you know what I'm saying. And talking about cleaning jazz up, my friends, let's talk a little bit more about Patreon. In the previous episode, I started off by showing you guys what I called Patreon City. And of course, to get to Patreon City, we had to go through the nether over here. And there's a freaking ghast that is trying to kick my ass. Dude, do you mind? I am trying to talk to the Cyberdogs right now. Now, if I'm honest with you guys, the reaction that I received in the comment section and in my email and on my Facebook and on Twitter and in private messages on Dogcraft.net about Patreon City was pretty much the exact opposite of what I expected. I expected you guys to be really excited about Patreon City and about everything that was going on and everything that I showed you in the previous episode. But the reality is that you guys were not excited. In fact, you guys were extremely angry that I had opened my Minecraft survival world after 4 years to other people to come and play in here. And guys, I gotta tell you that I think that I've made a mistake. And I want to apologize to you guys for what I did. And I want to try and make amends in this episode before Christmas Day. And I want you and I to go into the festive season as buddies and as friends and as a Cyberdog Nation, and to have no bad blood between us. Now, let me try and explain to you guys what the whole Patreon thing was about. For those of you guys who are perhaps wondering what I'm talking about, I recently opened up a Patreon account a few months ago, and one of the perks or one of the rewards that you can get in that Patreon account was to come and play with me right here in Minecraft Survival. And for us to spend a weekend together once a month building something in this great land known as Rentopia. Last weekend on Saturday was the first time that the Patreons and I, you know, did that together. And even though we had a really awesome time, I didn't really think what the impact that would have on the rest of the Cyberdog Nation. And I know that there were a lot of you guys out there who were very upset about the fact that I had opened my world up to people for a fee. For subscribing on Patreon, for pledging money to me, and a lot of you guys felt that I sold out, and that this series didn't really mean that much to me, that I was willing to let people come and play on it for a certain amount of money. Now, guys, Firstly, before I get into more of this, I just want to say that none of this has got anything to do with the Patreons who joined me that weekend. In fact, the Patreons who I spoke to today told me that they didn't even care about playing on the world. They wanted to support me as much as they could, and that it would be really okay for me to do what I've done today. You know, this year has been an extremely important year for me, and especially for this channel, and I've been working really, really hard to try and find creative ways to make this whole thing, this YouTube channel, this whole RENDOG thing, a sustainable part of my life. I've been going to events, I've been talking to sponsors, I've been meeting a whole bunch of other people, and I really have been working extremely hard to try and be able to make YouTube something that I can keep in my life and something that I can keep going, because, you know, making content for you guys is the best thing that I've ever done in my life. Better than any job that I've ever had, better than any venture that I've ever gone on, better than any business that I've ever tried to start. Right here, this world, this whole thing, the Cyberdog Nation, is where my heart is at. And you know, my Patreon idea was just another idea to try and find a way to make this that I love a sustainable thing in my life. And I kind of didn't really think about the impact that it might have on you guys. And what I've actually done is I've cancelled the whole thing. So it is no longer a reward on Patreon that you can come and play with me in Raintopia. I've reimbursed all of the Patreons with the money that they pledged. And I've let them know that, you know, it's no longer a thing. And we're not going to be having Patreons here in Raintopia ever again. And this world belongs to you and me, guys. And I know that, you know, this world has helped a lot of you through some really hard times. And the reality is that if it wasn't for this world, I wouldn't be talking to you guys today. This world, your support, the love that you guys have given me over the last 2 years got me through the hardest time in my life. And I can honestly tell you that I wouldn't be standing here today in this pimpin' ass Christmas jumper if it wasn't for you and if it wasn't for this Minecraft survival world. And it's precious to me, and I know that it's precious to you too, and I don't want to do anything that is going to jeopardize that. So I've decided that we will no longer have Patreons on this world, and I'm going to break this portal as a symbol of this. And I hope that, you know, you guys out there who were upset and, you know, who really took time out of your life to email me about it and to let me know what you felt, I hope that this helps to go a long way to, you know, repairing your and I relationship, because you guys mean a lot to me, man. And I really don't want to do anything to jeopardize that. And it's certainly not worth jeopardizing for a little bit of money every month. So I do want to thank the Patreons who did join me, and of course who, you know, who pledged their hard-earned money to help me out to try and reach my dream here on YouTube. And I am sorry that it turned out this way, guys. And you know, I'm going to carry on trying to find other ways to achieve this goal, guys. I can promise you that, man. I'm not going to give up, because this is what I want to do with my life, and it means more to me than I could ever explain to you guys. So that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about today with regards to the whole Patreon stuff, guys. You know, I hope that we can all now move on, move forward, and get through the drama of the last few days. And I do hope that you can accept my apology, and I assure you that it's 100% sincere. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that, guys. Now, the second major thing that I need to apologize for was the absolutely dastardly state of the wall that I created in the previous episode. And I gotta admit, my friends, you guys are right. It's probably the worst thing that I've ever built in Minecraft. It was terror-bad. And you know what, guys? It's quite funny, man. I don't think anything I've ever built in Minecraft has ever received as much hate in the comment section as that wall received in the previous episode. You guys absolutely hated it. And you know what? With good reason. It was janky as hell, man. I don't know what I was thinking. You know, I got the whole thing completely wrong. The Vikings were master crafters, master woodsmiths, and they would never create anything as janky as I created in the previous episode. So, you know, as I was saying earlier, guys, I didn't sleep a wink last night. I was so freaking worried about everything, about the Cyberdog Nation and everything, that I spent the whole night playing Minecraft. And I fixed the wall, and I can't wait to take you guys through the changes that I've made. I think that I've landed on a design that pays compliment to what the Vikings would have done and also fits in with MOLECITY much better. What I was trying to do in the previous episode was use blocks that we haven't used before, but that is not necessarily the best strategy to use, guys. You know, here in MOLECITY, we have to make sure that our builds do kind of match each other, or they're just going to stick out like a sore thumb in the city. And as the lumber mill is right next to Granny Dog's greenhouse over here, or Mama Dog's greenhouse, excuse me, over here, you know, we need to make sure that there are elements of the build that kind of synergize with the build of Mama Dog's greenhouse, which is one of the most beautiful structures in the city. So what I did, I took some advice from you guys. I changed the bottom level of the wall to cobblestone and mossy cobblestone, and that kind of helps to link up the building to MOLECITY itself, or more importantly, to the Viking district, which Mama Dog's greenhouse is a part of. I also spent a lot of time working on my escalification. In the previous episode, the escalification that I did was basically just escalification for the sake of block variance. There was no thought behind it. It was just trying to mix up a whole bunch of blocks together, and that is, of course, not the right way to do block variation. What I've done here, guys, I think is the correct way to do block variation. I've tried to break the wall up into visible layers of color. Okay, so at the bottom we have the foundations of the wall, the rocks and the stones that are holding up the wooden planks of the wall. And then we can see that the wall has two major layers to it. We've got oak wood planks and we've got birch oak wood planks with some, I think these are oak wood fences with some acacia accents here and there as the windows. And then above them, we have a jungle wood and dark oak wood lining. And those are basically stairs on top of each other, which I think turned out really, really nicely. Basically, basically this kind of thing going on over here, right? Let me show you guys. Oops, no, that is cute, but it is a friggin' wrong. Basically like that, right? And this is where the block variation comes in. What I've done up there is use the dark oak wood and the jungle oak wood, which share the same vertical lines, to variate the color, implying that this wood is extremely old. You know, wood is a material that changes color over time, so it wouldn't make sense that all of the wood would be the same color. And that is the kind of block variance that we should be applying to this kind of build. The same goes for this section of the wall where we have some oak wood planks with birch wood planks. They both share horizontal lines and very similar designs in the textures. And you know, it feels like these two blocks work really well together, and the oak wood has a darker tone to it than the birch wood, implying that it's maybe older wood that was used in this section of the wall. And the same goes for the acacia accents in the fences. You know, the wood is not going to stay the same color over time. And that, to me, is clever block variance rather than just janky-ass block variance. And I'm very, very happy with how this wall has turned out. I think there's still a little bit of work to be done here. It's still a little bit flat. But as one of you guys mentioned, it's gone from looking like a noob's first Minecraft house to something actually worth showing in this Minecraft survival series. So I hope you guys like this new design. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm also very excited to show you guys the work that I have done on the second story down here. It is looking absolutely beautiful. Feast your Cyberdog eyeballs on this, man. Oh baby, let's talk a little bit about this. As you guys can see, a lot has changed down here, and I think that the woodiness that I was talking about in the previous episode has gone to a whole freaking new level. What I've done here is I've created a little bit of depth using stairs underneath the chests over here to create kind of like a ledge, or I guess it's more like a a shelf, I suppose, holding up the fences, and that same shelf design follows on all around the circumference of the room. I've also put some dark oak wood logs behind these oak fences to create a little bit more depth and to create a real woody feeling in here, man, and I think that it's turned out extremely nicely. There's a bunch of block variation going on in here too, guys. You can see that I've been mixing the birch wood with the oak wood, and I think it's turned out really, really nice. Again, you know, wood is not going to have the same color all the way through, especially in a structure that's been around for a very long time. So this block variance, I think, does a great job in making the place feel really realistic, I guess, and really, really woody. I've used some planks over here, or sorry, some slabs over here to create some depth in the roof too, which I think turned out really, really nicely. It's created this sort of curve in the roof, and I think that looks absolutely amazing. And I'm really happy with how this floor has turned out, guys. I think that I've done myself proud here, and I suppose I could say that this is reparations for the disgusting job that I did on the wall in the previous episode. Alright guys, time for more business and less talkage, I think. Let's get down to placing some blocks. I want to experiment a bit with making this wall look even more awesome, and I want to find a way to add some light onto the outside of this wall. As you guys can see, I moved the street lamps over to the other side of the road, and those look really cool, but I think we're going to need a little bit more light in here, or there's going to be a bunch of spawnage going on around here. So I'm thinking about perhaps using something on the lines of some stone walls like this, okay? So this is going to add a little bit more to the stony foundation of the lumber mill. I think it works quite nicely. Oh, and by the way, guys, check it out. I made the lumber mill actually do a little curve here, which I think looks pretty awesome. Managed to get a window in amongst a diagonal, which is no easy feat, let me tell you guys. Diagonals in Minecraft are extremely hard to work with, but I think that that turned out kind of jazzy. And yeah, I want to work a little bit with some stone walls. I want to get some glowstone onto the outside of this wall. Try to get the place looking even more fancy than it is already looking. You know, my theory is, from a lore perspective, the Vikings who built this lumber mill were extremely wealthy Vikings, okay? They weren't rural Vikings. They moved to the city, man. They came and moved to the big city known as MOLECITY, and they were here to sell their wares. And to do that, of course, they have to have the most awesome facility possible. And they spent all of their resources and all of their brain power to create this marvelous Viking lumber mill over here. And of course, they would have spared no expense on things like glowstone and that sort of jazz, which would otherwise be quite expensive for your average mole citizen. So what I'm thinking is, why don't we create a couple of very simple light features over here using some stone walls and some fences. I really like how the fences and stone walls look on top of each other. A Cyberdog on the Cyberdog Nation server sent me a screenshot of a build that he's working on, and he actually uses this exact build, which I got inspired by, and I think it looks really, really awesome. So thank you to Chibi for the really cool idea, using some glowstone on top of fences on top of stone walls. I think it looks absolutely great. Let's have a look at what this looks like, man. I think that's going to turn out quite nicely. Yeah, baby. I'm loving that, man. That is looking absolutely awesome. Okay, let's carry on getting some of these light fixtures into the walls of the lumber mill. What I like about this whole thing is that it adds a lot more depth into the wall, right? It creates these sort of indents into the wall, which I think add a very, very nice touch. And what, of course, we want to do now is just add a little bit of block variance in here. Let's get some mossy cobblestone walls going too, just so that it's not just all this cobblestone texture. Let's break that up just a tad. And I think that will really make the whole place pop something fierce, baby. All right, let's get this done like this. And yeah, there's another one. And I think we probably need another one over here and here. There we go. And that is looking awesome. All right, let's back it up and have a look at this brand new wall. There we go. Okay, this is coming together really nice now. Yes. Oh yes, I'm loving it. I'm loving the little green touch that the mossy cobblestone adds to the wall. I think we could probably go even further, guys. Let's head into the lumber mill and actually make use of this beautiful facility that we created and pick ourselves up a little bit of leafage. And I think, is this jungle? No, that's acacia. Dark oak. Yeah, dark oak wood leaves are probably the best leaves, right? Yeah, the jungle leaves are... Yeah, let's use some dark oak wood leaves for this. Let's get some really bright green into the outside of this wall and see how that looks. That might turn out quite nicely. So I'm thinking about, like, just add in a couple of vines or something like that, right? Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And maybe another little bush like this. The thinking being that, you know, these are vines that have been growing all over the lumber mill for many, many years now. Let's just get a little bit more in, get a little bit more going. Yes, that is looking sweet. I am loving it. Okay, let's do a little bit more like this. Okay, let's back it up. Have a look at what our leaves have done. Yes, baby, that is looking awesome. I'm loving that. Now, do I have any vinage? Yep, we're getting crazy, man. We are getting crazy today, baby. We are getting crazy on the detail. Man. All right, let's have a look. Do we have any vines? Yes, we do. We've got 9 vines. Okay, we've got to be... Wait, there's a bit of bone meal in here. That shouldn't be in there. Let's get that into its proper chest. Okay, let's see if we can get some vinage growing on this outside wall. I think that will really help to make the place look even better. Maybe we can stick... Can we stick vinage on... No, we can't stick it there. So I'm thinking... We've got a little bit of vinage like this. Maybe one over here. Not too much, of course. Let's get a couple like that. These are going to grow naturally, okay? Let's do a little bit over there. Maybe we do one over here. Another one like that. Maybe one all the way up there. Okay, cool. That's all of the vines. Now, they are going to grow and start to cover up the wall a little bit more. And I think that's going to start looking really cool. Look at this. It is looking sweet now, man. Oh, baby, that is awesome. Finally, this place is starting to feel like a proper MOLECITY build that every Cyberdog on this planet can be proud of. Look at this, man. It is looking awesome, guys. Just added a little bit of gravel underneath the stone walls over here. I think that adds quite a nice little touch to it too. Just adds a little bit of color variation into the grass section here. And as you guys can see, the vines are growing nicely. I love how that fence window looks behind this vine. That looks so cool. Added a couple of vines to some of the lampposts too, which look absolutely gorgeous, man. This place is looking sweet. However, we got a problem, and this is a problem that a few of you Cyberdogs pointed out to me in the previous episode. You asked the very valid question, Rendog, that second story is all well and good, my friend, but how in the jazz do you propose to get down into the second story? And you know what, guys? I hadn't really thought about that until you mentioned it, and I think we're probably going to have to make some sort of a stairway or some sort of a spiraling staircase or something to get down there. And it looks like we've got a little bit of space to work with over here, although I'm not 100% sure where the second story floor begins, I suppose, or the roof, should I say. So let's do a little bit of digging and a little bit of exploration here. Where is the second story? Where in the jazz does it begin? Oh my goodness, it looks like it might actually begin all the way over here somewhere. Yep, there we go. Okay, so here is the wall of the second story, or the back wall of the second story. So I'm thinking we could probably make some sort of a staircase that goes down into here. You know what? I'm going to dig into the second story from here, and we can find the center of the wall, actually. Let's have a look. Yes, it is an even number, so we're going to have to make this door 2 blocks wide, just for symmetry's sake. And there we go. So that'll be the entrance from the first floor. Now we got to find some sort of a decent way to get ourselves up here. I'm thinking we can just use some dirt here to lay down some foundations. Maybe something like this. So maybe we come up a block, and maybe then we come like this, perhaps? The staircase can come up like this and maybe start over here. I suppose the problem with this build is that if this is the door, which I currently have it designed as, it's kind of awkward because the staircase is right in the way here. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. We could make the door to the lumber mill over here, and that would make a little bit more sense, I guess. And then it's kind of awkward coming around the corner to get into the first floor. Oh man, this is kind of tricky, guys. I'm going to have a little think about this. Okay guys, I've taken a step back and I think I have nailed exactly how we are going to create this staircase. What I've done is I've set up the boundaries in which I have to work. There is going to be a wall running along this side, and of course there's going to be a wall over here that's going to be hiding the shame of the redstone that's going on behind the scenes over there. So this is the space that we are working with over here. If this is the entrance into the lumber mill, okay, what I want to do is have a little staircase down that'll take us into the first story of the lumber mill. And then what I want to do is perhaps have a staircase that runs in a slightly different way on this side of things. So maybe what we could do, instead of the staircase going down that way, maybe what we could do is bring the staircase down this way, right? So check it out. If we bring the staircase down a couple of blocks here, we could then have it loop around. Oh, hello, kitty. Get your damn ass out of here, man. I'm busy crafting. Freaking cat. Cats and sleep. Freaking Minecraft problems. Am I right, my friends? Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yes. So we're going to make a staircase that goes down like this, right? So here's what I'm thinking. We go down another block over here. We're going to go underneath the floor here, which is fine. And then maybe we can turn around like this. Okay, now we're all underground, which is totally cool. There's no real reason to try and make the staircase as compact as it can possibly be, right? Then what we could do is turn the corner over here, and this, if my calculations are correct, yes, should line up perfectly to the makeshift entrance that we created for the second story. There we go, guys. I think that's kind of how I want to make the staircase. Looking pretty awesome. Let's just get rid of all of this and have a look how this looks. So here we go. We can actually get rid of this one too. Oh no, we got problems, man. We are going to have to do something about this floor. We're going to have to create something here maybe. Yeah, we're going to have to add another level of dirt over here. Maybe we could make some sort of a garden feature or something on top of this little hill. I think that'll turn out okay. We can deal with that later, right? Let's not worry about that right now. Let's worry about this staircase to start with. We could make the staircase 1 block long instead of 2 blocks long, but I kind of like this slow gradient. I think that works out pretty cool. It has a sort of lumber mill feel to it. For some reason in my brain. I don't know if it works in your brain, but it's kind of working in mine. And it looks like we might have to create even more of a hill over here to hide the shame. Huh, okay. Well, let me have a go, guys. I'll bring you back in a second and we'll have a look what it looks like. I really am quite pleased with how this passageway is turning out, guys. You know, it's got a real lumber mill type feel to it. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but when I walk down this passageway, I just feel lumber mill, man. I get the lumber mill feels going on. But I must say, there's a little bit too much birch oak wood plankage going on in here. So I've got an idea. Why don't we try and add a cool little accent into this passageway? Let's try get this design into the passageway itself. That could be pretty awesome. The bad news is that I have been wrecking the floor of MOLECITY, all the roads up there. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm kind of scared to go up there and have a look at what I've done. Usually what I do in Minecraft when I create a mess somewhere else when I'm working on a build, I kind of ignore it for a while. I put it out of my mind, if you know what I'm saying. Out of sight, out of mind, right? And I sort of say to myself, well, I'll deal with that issue later. Ain't gonna deal with it now. Yeah, that's pretty much how I work in Minecraft. We'll go have a look at what mess I've done up there. But check it out, my friends. What I'm thinking about doing over here is adding that exact same feature that we have running underneath in the second story of the lumber mill. I think that could be pretty cool. And it's pretty easy to do, man. All we need to do is add some loggage in here. And as you can see, there is more mess being created by myself. Out of sight, out of mind. Ignore it. That didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about. Yep. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't let OCD come in here, okay? There is no room in the lumber mill for OC freaking D, okay, baby? Oh, man. Anyway, let's get these logs installed. One more little row to do over here. And I think this is looking pretty sweet. I've just had a little bit of an epiphany also while I was working on this. I think we could make these little features even more awesome. And we've got some skeletons in here who have decided to visit. Oh, hello there. The lumber mill is not open yet, and especially not for undead freaks like yourselves. Get the jazz out of here, man. Yep, this is where they're spawning, right here in this very dark passageway. Let's get some light up in here. Okay, let's go get ourselves a few of these oak wood fences, and then we can complete that look. Now, one of the problems that we have here, of course, is light. And I'm thinking about something a little bit crazy. Let's get a few of these planks in here, though. This is going to have to get changed like this. And what we're also going to have to do, of course, is add a bit of block variance in here. I'm going to add some oak wood planks every now and then. And potentially what we do also is change these blocks to stairs, just to keep the same sort of design as we have here in the second story, but that might not be wholly necessary, as this is a staircase and not a room. I suppose we could get away with it, thinking about it that way. And yeah, more mess to be created. This one ain't actually going to work, so maybe what we do is just one more little row over here. I want to get the foundations down, and then I'll work on all the finesse stuff. That's usually what I do in Minecraft. I usually get the foundations of an idea laid, get all the blocks down as fast as I can, and then deal with the details afterwards. Check it out. That's looking pretty sweet, actually. And we could probably add some sort of a... we could probably add a little cross beam over here, I suppose. Yeah. Just like this, just to represent the entrance of this tunnel. And this looks like a pretty decent place for some glowstone. There we go, that looks awesome. Now what I was thinking about doing was adding some glowstone in and amongst these logs over here. That could be pretty cool, but these are even numbered spaces though, so it might not work out. Let's just give it a little bit of a go, see what it turns out like. So that's what I'm thinking, right? We add some glowstone in there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know, maybe that's too much glowstone in the build. Yeah, I'm going to have to think about that one. What I do know, though, is that we're going to need a little bit more glowstone in here, I think. And I think we'll probably just finish that off like that. Yeah, a lot of detail work to be done around here, guys. But I'm pretty happy with how this staircase has turned out. In fact, I'm very happy. This place is starting to come together really nicely. Well, Cyberdogs, I am pretty damn proud of what I've achieved today. I feel like I have done some repair work on the damage that was inflicted in the previous episode. I think the wall is looking absolutely beautiful, and I really love how the interior of the lumber mill is turning out. Looking fan-freaking-tastic. Unfortunately, we've run out of time for today, though, my friends, and I'm going to love you and leave you. But thank you so much for watching this episode, and I do hope that those of you guys who were upset by the whole Patreon drama, you know, can get through it, and we can go into the Christmas season as friends again, hand in hand, Cyberdog Nation to the end, baby. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and thanks to everybody who has purchased the Christmas special bundle I mentioned in the previous episode. Really awesome of you guys. And for those of you guys who didn't manage to do it because the link was broken, link in the description box below. It is now fixed. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button, and make sure to join me on Christmas Day for full day streaming action from the Cyberdog Nation, real life flat in London. Anyway, guys, RENDOG'S, play Minecraft Survival, and hope to see you all again in the next episode.